This is my YouTube studio dashboard showing
Episode 9. He will be slapped
$417,000
today.
with YouTube automation. And what's wild is I built this YouTube
There were
channel
many
with no
rumors
team,
circulating
without
around
showing my face,
Xavier.
only using AI.
Even
I've been
before
doing
coming
YouTube
to the
for 10
academy,
years, and by far,
gossip
this is
had
the
already
easiest time
spread
to
about
start
him.
making six
They
figures
said
with
that he
YouTube.
was
In this
skilled
video,
in
I'll be
nothing
breaking down
and that he
exactly how
had
I
been
built this channel
misleading
and many
students.
others in less than
They
30
also
minutes
said
of
that he
work.
didn't know
Let's
how
get
to
into it.
cultivate
The first steps
and
to
had
building a
no
channel that
knowledge
can
of
potentially
martial
make
arts.
$100,000 a month
Basically,
is picking the right
it was
niche
best
format.
to stay
Because I
as
could
far
create the
away
best
as
content
possible
on
from
YouTube.
him.
It can be filmed in IMAX with the
When
perfect
both friends
personality,
came to the
perfect quality,
academy
but
to
if
seek
it
a
isn't in
teacher,
the right format,
they
YouTube
also
won't
had
pick it
heard
up.
of such
The channel will
rumors.
not grow. And in return,
All
I'll
along,
receive no views
they
and
had
no
been
money.
proceeding
But choosing the right
carefully,
niche goes
but
way
never
beyond
in
just
their
picking a
dreams
topic
did
you
they
like.
imagine
There's an
that
entire
this
strategy behind
unworldly
it. I
and
think the best
incredible
way to
expert
guarantee
was
success
that
with YouTube
legendary
is copying the
trash.
style of a channel that works.
Teacher,
and so much of that is dependent on
if
the
you
niche.
are
Say
so
there's a topic that you
incredible,
really want to talk about,
why
but you don't
would
necessarily know how to package that
Seth
information
couldn't
for
resist
the YouTube
himself.
algorithm. I wouldn't recommend
Although
starting
he had
a
just
channel
met
like that. When you
Xavier,
find a
he
golden
could tell
channel,
that
you
the
want to
teacher
copy as
before
much
him
of what
had
makes that
immeasurable
channel work.
capabilities.
Which this isn't just a niche.
Every
this is the
single one
niche
of his
format.
movements
And keep
had
in
an
mind, the niche you pick determines RPM,
How
which
could
means
he
how much
be
you earn
trash?
per 1,000 views. Pick the wrong niche,
There
you could
are
be making $2 per
many
1,000
people
views.
in
Pick
the
right
world
one, you
who
could be
are
making
envious
$20 per
of
1,000
the
views.
talented.
And most beginners pick niches that are too
This kind of
competitive
thing
or
means
too low
nothing at
value.
all.
The secret is finding channels that have
Xavier's
blown up within the
eyes
last 2
reflected
weeks, because that means
sadness
the
and
demand is
regret,
validated and
as
the
though
competition
lamenting
is
the
low. And in
incomprehension
2026,
of the
finding
world.
a profitable high RPM
The emotions
niche
on
is
his
easier
face
than
were
it's
in
ever
place,
been. Every time
but
I
in
blow
his
up an AI
heart,
channel and
he
want
was
to launch
scolding
another, I don't waste
vulgarities.
hours researching
If
and
it wasn't
testing
for
new
the divine
ideas. I literally
library,
just open
given how
TuneGen,
the
and
previous
in
owner of
seconds,
his
I can
body
visually
was,
spot
it
channels
was
that are
already
exploding
incredible
right now.
of him
I'm under the
to
niche
not get a
discovery section
negative
on
score.
TuneGen. I search for
In his
faceless
opinion,
channels that are long form
0
in English
marks
that
was a
average
high
over
score
5,000
indeed.
views made within the last 90 days.
Seeing
And
his
I can scroll
teacher's
through and see
depression
all of
and
these brand new
incomprehension
channels
of the
that are blowing
world,
up. I personally
Seth's
avoid
heart was
anything that
moved.
looks too kid
He
because
couldn't
that's
help
gonna
but
be really
declare,
low RPM. Also,
I am
avoid
willing to
anything
cleanse
that's
the
talking about
teacher of his
geopolitical
solid
politics or
reputation.
anything that can get you banned because I like
It's
to keep it very
okay.
safe. And I definitely
The
don't do anything
teacher's
that's too sexually
reputation
explicit. That
doesn't
is
matter.
a no-go. And just
As long
after
as
a
you
couple
train
minutes of
hard,
searching, I found this
I'll be
video that was
satisfied.
uploaded 7 days ago.
Take
that
the
has
identity
almost
token to claim your
400,000
bag.
views. Their first
Come to
video
class
didn't pop
punctually
off, but their
tomorrow.
second one is
Don't
doing really
be
good. This is what we would
late.
call the outlier video. The video that's doing
After
way better than
Xavier's
the
show
average.
of
Also
acting
found
cool,
another banger
he
niche,
seemed
and
to
it
have
seems
fully
like they did a
captured the
pivot.
admiration
Every
of the
excavator
student.
explains big
Seth
machines, every
nodded
truck.
his head.
What's interesting
Pulling
is the first
Noel,
4
who
videos
was standing
did
beside
absolutely
him.
terrible,
They
but
both
they didn't
walked
give
out
up.
the
They
door.
went into a good niche, and guess what? Now
Seeing
they're
them
doing
leave,
great. And these are the type of
excitement
channels
flashed
that you are
across
looking for.
Xavier's
When you see
eyes.
a channel that's barely
He had
getting
now
any
recruited
views, and then it
4
has
students.
a video explode,
The
that
dazed
is your
young
sign
lady
that
Rose,
something is going right.
the
And I
student
just make
who
a
he
Google
had
Docs,
won
and
from
I
a
just
bet,
take
Jesse,
at least 5 to 10
the
niches,
arrogant
and I
young
all put
Mistress
them in
Sarah,
one page.
and
then
the
I wager
speared
which one
genius,
I like
Seth.
the most. And of course, I think
Initially,
about the
he
RPM,
thought that
again,
today
how
would
much
be
it's
a
gonna make
failure,
for
just
1,000
like the day
views.
before,
I can get an estimate of
where
that
he would be
based off of the
unable to
audience.
recruit
If
a
you have
single
a younger
student.
audience, your RPM is
He
going to be
didn't
lower. If you have an
expect
older
that he
audience,
would
your
manage
RPM
to
is going
recruit
be higher.
4 of
Always
them.
think about who is watching videos like these. If you're
Without
making videos
identity
on farming
tokens,
equipment or
even
fishing,
if
it's gonna
more
be an older
students were
audience.
to come,
Also think about the
I
category
would be unable
of
to
people that
admit
are
them.
watching the videos. The finance niche
Better make
pays the
use of
most
this
because
free
people
time
who
to
are
get a
watching
few more
finance
tokens.
videos probably have more money
These
on average.
tokens have
That's
been
how
given out
advertisers
by the
pay YouTube.
academy.
And again, stay
But
away from
due to his
controversial
terrible
topics. So once you
reputation,
have your
the
niche list
teacher in
compiled,
charge of
identify first
distributing the
channel that
tokens
has the most
had only
momentum,
given
that
him
also has
4.
low competition and
As
a
the
solid
tokens
RPM.
contained the
That's your
information
big
of
two
the
that you're gonna be
teacher,
looking for. And
he
the cherry
needed to
on top
claim
is
more
thinking
if he
about how
wanted
you
any
can
more
niche
students
spend
to
that channel.
acknowledge
An
him.
example of niche spending is
Once a
taking
student
channel
claimed
like this
ownership
that only
of the
talks
token
about
by
cats
dripping a
and
blood
making
drop
about
on it,
dogs. So
it
I take a
meant
look
that
at the
they
biggest
acknowledged
video.
the teacher
If
as
your
their
cat sleeps
mentor.
with you, they're trying to tell you this.
On
You
the
recreate
other
the
hand,
same video, but you talk
if
about
they would
dogs,
like
or
to
you talk
withdraw
about
from the
birds,
lesson,
or you talk about
the
guinea
teacher
pigs, or you
only
talk
had
about
to drip
rabbits,
a
any
blood
pet.
drop on
Here's
it
another
and the
OG
information
example,
of the
this channel
student
talks
would be
about your
erased.
life as different animals. Your life
Standing
as a
up,
gorilla, your life
he
as a
walked
snow
out
leopard,
of the
your life as an
classroom.
orca. This is
The
the
sun
original
shone
channel that
brightly
pretty
through
much
the branches
started
of a
the whole Your
tree,
Life As
making
format. And
the
now
students
niche has been
underneath
bent
sweat
from
from the
animals
heat.
to people. So we
Freshmen
have Your Life
and
as
older
Every Rank in the
students were
Italian
walking
Mafia.
on
We
the
have people
pavement
talking
of the
about
academy,
YouTubers. Your life
their
as I
faces
Show Speed.
bright with
You could do Your
excitement.
Life as Harry Potter.
The freshmen were
literally anything. That's why it's
overjoyed
so
at the
good to
thought
find so
of
many
coming
outlier
into a
channels that are
new
doing really
environment
well. And
and
instead of just
acknowledging a
copying
teacher.
and going into their niche, you
Even
should
the
niche
older
in. So
students
now you
were
know how I find a
excited
good
by
niche.
the
Now I'm
thought
gonna
of
show you
new
how I set
students
up
joining the
channels.
academy.
You may not think this is important because you're like, okay,
Walking
yeah, I know how to
along
set
the
up a YouTube
pavement,
channel. What most
a
people don't
large
realize
infrastructure
is proper
appeared before
optimization
Xavier.
makes YouTube push out your
There were
content.
two
And I've seen
gigantic
channels with
words
amazing
hanging
videos
on a
get
board at
buried
the
by
center of
algorithm,
the
all
building.
because their channel settings were
Logistics
misconfigured from day
department.
one. First is make sure that you never
The
have
tokens
on
that
made for
represented the
kids.
identity
Even if
of
you
a
are making
teacher
kids
were
videos,
claimed
make
from
sure
this
that
building.
This is turned off. If YouTube asks
Right
you for
after
ultra
walking in,
content, press
he
no.
heard a
And as far as
sarcastic
basic
voice
info,
sounding
people
out.
forget to set this up a
Yo,
lot. But make sure that your channel is
who
in the
is
country that you're living in,
this?
and you are adding
Isn't this
keywords.
our
Think of
star
keywords as just tags for your
teacher?
channel. So if I'm doing
What
a
do you
finance
want?
channel, I would use tags
Oh,
like
let me
investing,
guess.
finance, money.
Could it be
things
that
like
you
Now
used
go over to
none
your
of the
advanced
identity
settings. Make sure
tokens,
again
so
it
you're
says
here to
no for making
return
kids.
them?
Make sure this is always off. And as far as the
Xavier
automatic
raised
captions,
his
turn on
head.
auto dubbing. I
A
promise
large
this will help.
man
This
with
will
a
allow your
round
content
face
to be
came
seen
into
in
view.
other languages.
He
Make
looked
sure
like he
clips are
weighed at
on.
least
Make sure
400
YouTube can
pounds.
enhance your visual and
A
audio
name
quality.
floated
This is
from the
telling
depths
YouTube
of his
that,
memories.
Yes, you're making a high quality content video. And for
Daryl
the description, the
Barton.
format that I like to use is title, paragraph,
Daryl
hashtag.
was
So
one
if
of the
title
teachers in
video
charge
is
of
your life
logistics.
as a
He was a
brain
very
surgeon,
spiteful
I could use
man
ChatGPT,
who always
vidIQ,
liked to eat
TubeGen.
into the
I
spare
gave ChatGPT
change of
the
others.
prompt, I'm making a video called
As
Your
the
Life as a
teacher
Brain
on the
Surgeon.
lowest
Make a
level,
3-sentence description for
Xavier's
the video to
salary
put
had been
underneath.
small,
Make it filled with
and the
keywords.
resources
And I
he
could
could
just
claim
take this
had
and I
always
would just
been
copy
minimal.
this into the description,
Thus,
and I would use the
he had
common
never
hashtags
gained
as my
Daryl's
competitors,
respect.
which would be POV, Your Life
Due
as
to this
Doctor.
affair,
So this is just
he
a mock-up
offended
of
him.
how the description would
The
look
moment
like.
they
You can
met,
also go to
all
the create video
kinds of
section on
sarcasm
TubeGen.
and
It can make
insults
a
came
description
flying
for you,
out.
thumbnail, soundtrack, visuals,
Previously,
and all that fun
Xavier
stuff. You
was
put in the
given
title
4
and it does the
identity
rest.
tokens
Also, there's
under the
something
premise
else
that
you
he
can do
wouldn't
for
be
your
able
channel
to
that's
recruit
completely
any
outside of this,
students
and
at
that is
all.
warming up the channel. I
However,
typically recommend
to
using
Daryl's
an
surprise,
YouTube account
this
and
was
a
not
YouTube
the
account,
case.
just an account that you didn't make yesterday.
I
and
have
just started
finished
posting
using
on
my
an account that
identity
you probably used
tokens.
for a couple years.
I would
You
like
can
to
delete all
claim
the
a
videos,
few
it's
more
fine
of
if
them.
you've uploaded some, or even
Xavier
private them,
spoke
but using an
calmly.
aged account is optimal. And to prove to
Finished
YouTube that you're not a
using
robot,
them.
just start watching videos in your
Daryl
niche. That's
was
all you
stunned
have to
for
do.
a
I
moment
say spend
before
like 20
howling
minutes a
in
day just
laughter.
watching YouTube videos, interacting, commenting, so YouTube knows that you're not a bot, so they can push out that first video. A lot of people are in a
come and
huge
take a
rush just to get their
look.
first video out, and they miss out
This
on this.
bottom
Please make sure
shelf
you do all these
teacher
steps. It will
comes
help you,
here
I
to
promise.
brag
The
that
algorithm
he
looks at
used up
absolutely everything.
all
Your
of his
country, your
identity
tags, your
tokens.
description, the scripts of your
What a
video, all of it
joke.
is taken into consideration when I think about pushing out your video. So this is yes important.
Upon
I also
hearing
recommend
Daryl
getting the
shouting,
extension
the few
vidIQ.
teachers
This is
in the
number
logistics
one tool
branch
for
came
YouTube.
rushing
This
over.
is going to allow you to see
They stared
outlier
at
videos,
Xavier with
and it will
looks
give
of
you an
disdain.
estimate on how many views
I
your
seem
channel
to
is
recall
getting
that you
a
gave
week.
him
It will also
4
show you
identity
money, but it's a
tokens
little
back
bit
then.
inaccurate, and it will
Finish
give you
them.
similar channels
Him.
and stuff like that. So I
Yeah,
definitely
right.
100% recommend
The
getting
teacher
vidIQ.
who is
I just want
second
to
from the
intercept for a
bottom
second and
is
just
said to
emphasize
only
again
have
how
one
easy it
student
is to
currently.
make over $10,000
This
a month
fellow
on
who made
YouTube. And I
history
know this
by
works,
scoring
not just for me,
0
but
in the
for
teacher
everyone, because I've
qualification
shared the same
examination
system with
could
dozens of
accept a
people in
single
my private
student.
community. I've told people like
What are
Eddie
you
make
trying
over
to brag about?
$90,000 on their first AI
Throw him
automated
out
channel. And Matt, who
today.
got started a month ago and is
Throw
already
him
making
out.
$23,000
Anyway, after
in
today,
his first month
he will be
using this
fired.
exact same system. So if you're
For a
interested in
teacher
seeing
who
the
was at
same
the
results
very
for yourself
bottom and
and want to
scored
learn my
0 for the
exact
teacher
basis YouTube
qualification
systems, click the link in the
examination.
description to
Why
join
the
my
hell
private
is he
community.
trying to
But yeah,
show
back
off?
to the YouTube. Now that your
Students
channel is
would
set up
run the
properly, it's
instant
time
they
for the
hear
part
your
that actually
name.
makes this a hands-off
For them to
business.
acknowledge
It is
you.
the content automation.
What
And I'm going
kind
to show
of
you how to
joke is
automate
this?
content creation completely with
Daryl
AI.
thought to
And I'm going to
himself.
show you another alternative as well. The
Xavier
biggest bottlenecks
didn't
for
get
YouTube
mad.
is scripting,
Instead,
voice
he
acting,
smiled.
and visuals. And just a
Oh,
few years ago, you either
you
need
said
a
that
full
I'm
team to do
bragging?
everything for you, or you needed
Fine.
20 plus hours
Why
of
don't
work
we
a week.
bet on
Again,
it?
that's just for a single
Daryl
video.
didn't
But
expect
today,
the man
AI is
he had
what
always
smart
looked
creators
down
are
on to
using
challenge
work
his
faster,
authority
more
by
efficiently.
betting with him.
And they are literally
He
outperforming
snickered
their
in
competition with just AI videos.
Bet?
The best way that you're going to create leverage for
Fine.
YouTube is
Said
not
you
just by
wanna
having
lose
one
so
channel that makes you
badly.
money, it's having
I will
multiple
fulfill
channels,
your
right?
wish.
If one channel can make you
Just
4,000,
that,
another one can make you 20,000,
given how
another one
poor
can make
you
you
are,
8,000,
I
you are
doubt
compiling
there's
an empire of
anything
YouTube.
you could
Do you understand
offer.
how expensive it is to run that many
Xavier
channels if you're
widened
paying
his
people for
eyes.
every single part? It's incredibly
It isn't
expensive.
your
I would know.
problem
I'm going to show you
whether
the
I
two
am
ways that
poor
I
or
am
not.
making these
Since
videos
I
with just
proposed the
very
bet,
little
of
work.
course
So
I
the
will
two
take
biggest
out
things
something
that you're
I am
gonna
willing
need
to
is a
bet
script
on.
and a voiceover. So I'm going to head over to TubeGen
Oh,
AI, and I'm
you
going
were
to
able
go
to
over
take
to the
something
style section.
out.
And now I'm going
Given
to
your
create
background,
style.
the
Now, what I'm
things
about
you
to create
take
is a
out would
template
probably
that I
just
can
be
use
some
to make YouTube
rotten
videos with
metal
accurate
or
scripts and voiceovers.
similar
Pretty
shit
much
like
just a template
things.
to copy other channels. with
You
the same
think
content.
I
For an
would
example,
bet
let's
with
use
you?
a Your Life Ads channel.
I
This
can't
is just
afford
one
to
of
lose my
perspective channels that
reputation
we've been
betting
talking
with
about.
you.
And I'm just going to copy this
Daryl
video,
stated
add this over as a
contemptuously.
reference video. I will do this
Xavier
video as
was
well
the
because it
lowest
has
level
2.6
teacher in the
million
entire
views.
academy.
Copy this over here,
Not
and I'm just
mentioning the
copying
fact
people who are
how he
doing
was
the exact
unable to get
same
a single
niche
student.
format as me. That's
He
the
didn't
only
even
thing
have
I'm doing, so
bonuses.
we'll copy
If
this
one
as
must
well.
point
So
out the
boom, there
poorest
we go,
teacher
our
in the entire
POV
academy,
style, or your
it
live
would
ads, that's what
definitely
we'll call
be
it.
him.
So now we have all of these videos.
He lived
What TubeGen's going
thriftily
to do
even
is
in
gonna
his
analyze
daily
the
life.
script of all these
So he
videos
did
so
the
it can
same
make it
with
in
his
that
resources
exact
for
same style.
cultivation.
It is taking the scripts of 4
Xavier
videos that
wasn't
have already
bothered
proven
by
to
his
be good
insults
just
at
to
all.
match that same style.
He
You can
chuckled
also
and
change the
continued,
word count, and that's going to depend on how long
"The
the video is
thing
going to be.
I would
usually say
like
about
to bet
1600,
isn't a
but
treasure
since it's
or
just
an
a demo,
object.
we will do a quick
is
little 400 for this.
face.
I always set the language to English.
If I were to
and we can pick
lose,
any voiceover
I will
from
slap
11
you
Labs.
3
11 Labs
times
literally
in
has the
front
best
of
voiceover.
everyone
We can
else.
pick anything. And we can
If
even
I were to
clone
lose,
any voice that we
I will
like.
let you
Again,
slap
from
me
11
3
Labs, you
times.
Super easy. The only thing you have to
Do
do
you
is
dare
talk
to
like
bet
2
with me?
minutes, I think, and then you can get a voiceover. So I can clone my voice
Slapping
right here, and then we
face.
have some other settings for the scripts.
He
So I
didn't
usually don't
expect
change
Xavier
any of the
would
stuff.
bet
I
on
kind of make
this.
the voiceover a little faster
Daryl
sometimes
couldn't help
because it
but
can be a bit
hesitate.
slow. For the visuals,
To be
we can
slapped
choose
by
any
the
style that
Academy's
we'd like.
worst
I love
teacher.
to choose
If
the
he
POV
were to
style
lose,
because that's what
he
most people
wouldn't
are getting
even
into.
feel like
And we can
living
choose if
on.
we just want images,
He
we
would be
want it
so
animated,
embarrassed
if we
that he
want
would want to
B-rolls, and
die.
all of this stuff. I definitely make it landscape.
Do
You
you
can control the
dare
quality. I do the
or
best
not?
quality. That's just me personally. And if there's
Xavier
anything else that you
smiled at
wanted
him.
to do, you could add in
The other
additional
teachers
context
of the
as well.
logistics
Typically,
branch
this would get
smirked.
the video done. And
None of
even
them
3D
believed that
renders are
Xavier
available
would
as
be
well.
able to
So yes,
recruit
this is our
students.
POV test. I will
For
create a
Xavier to
style
win the
now.
bet
While it's
was
waiting,
as difficult
again,
as
it
a
is breaking
pig
down
climbing
all
up
of
a
these
tree.
successful YouTube videos, all of the styles of the videos.
what
so
are you
can make
scared
one
of?
for yourself.
It's
Now
not
we go
like
over
you
to
don't
create
know his
video. We're going to
standards.
click on the style that we just created.
Can the
And now
teacher
here's
who
what's
scored the
great. If
zero
you
on
wanted
the
to
teacher
generate
qualification
brand new video
examination get
ideas,
the single
you can just press
student?
generate from style.
He's just
and look at
yanking
what
your
it'll do.
chain.
It breaks down the most
He is
successful
just scaring
videos
you.
and all of the examples
Even
that
after
you
the
gave
new
it, and
students
comes
this
up with
year were
completely
blind.
original
They
video
wouldn't be
ideas.
blind
This
to
is
such an
amazing. But I'm not
extent
gonna
as
use
to
any of
acknowledge
these. I'm
him
just
as
going
their
to go
teacher.
straight to the script. You can type this to be
Finding
anything you'd
everyone's
like. I'm gonna
words
use that same
logical,
example that we did
he
earlier.
nodded
Your
his
life
head in
as
agreement.
a brain surgeon.
Fine.
We could use web search.
Since
if we
the
wanted
rest
really
of you
accurate
are
scripts. Most of the
cheering
times
so
it's not
happily,
necessary. And
would
watch
you all
this. I'm
like
just
to
gonna
make
press
a bet
generate, and
along
look at
with
how
me
fast
with
we
the
get a
same
full
terms
YouTube
as
script
him?
out. Take a look. Bam.
Xavier
This is
looked towards
amazing.
the
You're
other
28
three
and your
teachers
hands
of the
are inside
logistics
someone's
branch,
skull. The
who
drill
had been
hums
so
like a wasp
disparaging a
at
moment
home.
ago.
This is amazing.
Now,
Super fire
they didn't
scripts,
mind
super
adding to
optimized
the bet
scripts,
since one of
100%
them
in
had
second
already agreed
person.
to
I
it.
think this is probably one of the best.
Why?
And this is
Do
only
you find your
391
face so itchy that you would like us to slap it a few more times?
If we go over to voiceover,
Fine.
again, we can pick any
I'm
voice that we
in.
like or a clone voice.
A teacher declared
and we're gonna use
haughtily.
the Tyler voice.
You're 28 and
I'm also in. Who's afraid of you? To be bragging in
Very
front of
good,
us despite
high-quality
scoring a
voiceover.
zero.
I love it. I love it.
You
Now we can start
are looking
working
for
on our
death.
quick video. Sometimes I like to add
The three of
characters
them
depending
nodded
on the
their
type of videos that
heads
I'm making.
with
So
smirks
we'll
on
add
their
this character,
faces.
We'll call him Doctor.
In their
This is
opinion,
the description that I
Xavier was
quickly
bound
made,
to
so AI
lose
can
this
make a character
bet.
for me. And now let's just add
Today,
a character
he
and
would
see what it
definitely
comes up
be
with.
slapped.
Again, you don't have to